everybody. Welcome to the catch up. This week, I am just catching up with you. You guys, this is the end of the regular season of the NFL. We just wrapped up week 18. The weekend is complete. The playoff picture is set, and it is official. Cue the music. My boys are dead. They're dead. They're done. They're done. I've had many funerals this season, but this is the last and final funeral of the season. Toast it up, toast it up. Watch it all pour out. In my Rihanna voice, we're pouring it up for them. However, on the good side, they did everything they were supposed to do. It's why I'm wearing them loud and proud today. I have no problems. Zero problems with the way my squad ended the season. We did what we were supposed to do. We won out. We won every game of the last 3 games of the season, which is exactly what we needed to do to even have a shot in getting in the playoffs. Miami did what they had to do. They lost yesterday, but good old Kansas City. Woo! Kansas City decided to be very, 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 very petty and did not put a score on the scoreboard. They decided they'd rather be shut out by the Denver Broncos than to give the Cincinnati Bengals a chance and even at the possibility have to face Joe Burrow in what should be his MVP season. I'm so proud of the entire squad. Listen, this is coming from someone who thinks that defense was inexplicably horrid, torrid, putrid. Again, I kind of ran out of adjectives to give this defense of the Cincinnati Bengals in this season. And yet, these last 2 to 3 games, especially the last game of the season, they showed up, they showed out. Hendrickson was, oh my God, Hendrickson, first of all, is leading in sacks. So there's the bright spot of our defense all season long. Trey Hendrickson has been phenomenal. And they did their job. Defense showed up. They showed out. They were super impressive. They also got Lou Anarumo fired. This morning, Lou Anarumo, our defensive coordinator, is out, along with our lineman coordinator and our offensive line coordinator, Frank, what's his name? Who cares? He's gone, as he should have been halfway through the season. It's okay. But I just want to talk a little bit about, I'm not going to stay on here long. I ain't going to stay on here long because, I got a few other things to talk about. But I'm smiling. I'm excited because we didn't leave out, in other years, if there had been a failure halfway through the season, the team would have ended in a disgrace. And shout out to Joe Burrow. Shout out to Uno, Jamar Chase. Shout out to T. Higgins. Shout out to Chase Brown, bless his heart, even though I know he got hurt. But this team decided that they were going to end in pride, with dignity. And when you play for one of these Midwest small town teams, that means a lot. That means a lot where I'm from, that we didn't just curdle up and just continue to embarrass the fan base. They literally gave it their all. They did everything they were supposed to do. And I'm really, really proud. I'm really super proud. And we will go into next season knowing what this season could have been. And we will go into next season, I think, with hopefully a better plan, hopefully with a better coaching staff. It looks like Zach is still there. He did a press conference today. Probably still safe. But either way, I do believe we're going to go into next season with a lot more momentum and a lot more knowing what we are capable of doing. And yeah, and Joe stayed healthy all season. Also, a little scary at the end, in the middle of that game. I think it was third quarter where Joe got hurt. And his teammates rallied around him It was scary for a minute there, but it was nice to see him get up on his feet. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's talk about Joe Burrow a little bit. Let's talk about Joe Burrow a little bit. Joe Burrow, Joey B from Athens, Ohio. Joey B, born in Iowa. Joey B winning the Natty in LSU. And in his 5th season, Joey B should be the MVP of the 24-25 season. He's not going to be. He knows it and everybody else knows it. We all know that he's not going to be because our team did not reflect a team that an MVP should be on. MVPs go to the teams that are winning teams that season. And unfortunately, the Bengals just were not. But Joe Burrow passed Tom Brady in over 4,500. I think he ended up with something like 46, almost 4,700 passing yards. He had less than 10 interceptions. Throwing. I mean, this man has had an incredible season. And I think the only two other players that have had the stats that he had this year are Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the only two people, only other two quarterbacks that have had those stats. That is extremely good company to be in. That is unbelievable. And again, I really think if we were winning, Joe would hands down, be the MVP of the season. He ended with 4,918 passing yards. That's crazy. 43 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Do you hear me? This man was at a 70% completion. Quarterback rating was 108.5. He had less than 10 interceptions, like I said before, and 4,918 passing yards. This man killed it as quarterback this season. Absolutely killed it, destroyed it, murdered it. And I can't tell you enough how proud I am of it. On the other side of that, his 1-2 punch, Ja'Marr Chase, Triple Crown winner this morning. Announced, official. We all knew it was going to happen. Ja'Marr Chase is in the league with Steve Smith Jr., is in a league with Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. Only a few people, I think only 6 people in history has had his stats or better this season. And that's our guy. That's our number 1 wide receiver, Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase, uno. And then you got T. Higgins. T. Higgins, our second wide receiver option, was phenomenal this season. And let me just say this. We got to find a way to pay them both. You definitely got to pay Ja'Marr. You didn't pay him last year. You should have made the deal last year. You didn't. And now you got to flip burgers over there as a freaking franchise. You got to go to Wendy's or something and ask for a loan in some kind of way. You got to pay Ja'Marr Chase. You got to pay him. We got to pay Ja'Marr Chase every dime he's asking for. And if I was Mike Brown and his daughter and his family and their reputation of being cheap, I would put it all to the side and win a Super Bowl next year. And the only way you're going to do that is if you have another option to Ja'Marr Chase, and that is T. Higgins. You got to pay T. Higgins. You got to find a way to pay T. Higgins. Other franchises find a way. You got to. You got to. You can't let him go to Miami. You can't let him go. He wants to stay in Cincinnati. How many people want to stay in Cincinnati? They want to be there together as like three Marvel superheroes. Find the money. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you got to find the money. You got to pay T. You damn sure are going to have to pay Jamar, but you knew that. But you got to find a way to pay T, because that right there, that offense right there, if you get a new defensive coordinator and we get some new defensive pieces, that is a Super Bowl team. And it's not a Super Bowl team that's going to lose. It's a Super Bowl team that's going to win. And in my lifetime, I'd like to see it. So, as proud as I am of my Bengals, there's work to do on the off season. There's deals to be made. There's burgers to be flipped. There's Skyline chili to be sold. I don't care. You better get some people out there and find a way to pay these boys, because we need them. And they did a great job this season. It's going to be better next season, God willing. Can we say a quick prayer for the end of their season? Dear Lord, we thank you for the season of the Cincinnati Bengals, but Heavenly Father, we know that it could be better. And Lord, we ask moving forward that we get a better coaching staff and that we go on and win the Super Bowl next year. I usually don't pray in sports, but let me tell you, they showed me something. They showed me something in these last 3 days, and I'm very proud of them. Okay. I'm alone today. Hi. Leave a comment. Talk to me, and then I'll talk back to you on my next episode. But hey, I'm alone today because school is starting back. A lot of my guests are going back, dealing with, schools and work and all the things. Cuzzo is like down in South LA doing his thing, very, very busy. And I am, I'm out here in the Valley of Los Angeles, and I'm about to send my kids back to school. But real quick, I just want to talk a little bit about the rest of the NFL and the season, and the playoff season in front of us, the playoff picture. You got a lot of folks in there, surprisingly. I mean, I guess to me, Tampa didn't seem like a playoff team to me, but they're there. You had some games with a few implications. I think the standings of Green Bay and Green Bay and Tampa, and who's gonna play who. Vikings looked atrocious last night with the Lions. Lions look un-F-wittable in the NFC. They are the team to beat, and I think they are going to the Super Bowl this year. Teams that could upset them, maybe the Rams, as much as I hate to say it. The Rams have a shot. Maybe the Bucks in just like some weird turn of events. But other than that, I think, Philly. Philly is going to be a problem. And I actually think I favor Philly, actually, but my dad is from Detroit, and I naturally am going to just root for those Lions. But I think Philly can be a problem in the NFC. They are the number 2 seed, I believe. And so, you got the NFC going on. Looks like the AFC is what we thought it was. KFC, number 1. Bills, I think, number 2. And then kind of everybody else. Really? No. Nobody else who you're really worried about. No. Mm-mm. Back over in NFC, I think Commanders could be a problem. And like I said, in the AFC, this is a Bills Chief battle waiting to happen. Me and Cornell, C-Nell, Cousin Nell have talked about this a few times. I think this is, if this is a year, I think this is Josh Allen year to do all the things, win MVP, and possibly even win the Super Bowl. Although I don't think anybody is going to stand in the way of the Kansas City Chiefs three-peat. I think that three-peat is going to happen. I think it's destined to happen. They deserve it. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess the Ravens may be like, I think the Ravens are kind of a long shot just when I've seen their body of work this year. They have not looked as good as those other two teams. But to me, just the way Kansas has been moving and the way, officiating has been leaning their way, I think the league is very interested in having a three-peat in the NFL. It's never happened before. So, yeah, I think I don't know. I think it could happen for the Bills, but I definitely think it's probably going to happen for the Chiefs this year. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about a little bit of our NBA situation. I watched 2 back-to-back games of OKC battling my Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks that lost that game terribly. Actually, I take my shout out back. Y'all don't deserve that shout out. And then I watched them beat up or win the game against Boston last night. That is crazy. Both of those games, they came from behind and beat 2 very good teams in the East. New York, I don't know where they collapsed, but I will say OKC has heart. They have a lot of heart. They did not give up. They knew in the end they were going to wear us down. Tom Thibodeau has not worked. Don't even get me started on the lack of use of our bench. He's running our players down. And to me, that is so criminal considering what we just went through last season, where you literally wore your dog down. And I'm not even talking about Jalen Brunson. I'm talking about Josh Hart. You wore Josh Hart down. That dude is a dog. You wore him into the ground. Jalen was already hurt. You wore Josh Hart into the ground. That's crazy. But then you turn around this season and you have a game like that where you're playing against all these young cats and you run your starting 5 all the way through the 3rd and 4th quarter. You don't let them sit. How is he still the coach? Somebody explain that to me. It's criminal. It's criminal. You're going to kill these guys. You're going to have torn everything by March. So unless we fix that, and he's being stubborn about it, it's just like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Just stubborn and annoying. And anyway, moving on, we got Boston came next. Boston was like last night. So I think like Friday night I watched the game with OKC and the Knicks. And then yesterday was with Boston, and Boston looked really, really good. And then OKC came and looked even better. And that's, Boston is the defending NBA champs. And OKC made them eat dirt in that last quarter. And they won. And so I'm looking out for OKC. I'm looking out for SGA. I mean, listen, we know that they're good. We know that they're great. I think Cleveland has the best record in the NBA right now, but OKC's not far behind. I just think they're a force. They're a force. And so, yeah, I'm going to be watching out for them. And I'm excited about the playoffs coming up. We'll all stay posted, but I just really wanted to come on and say for all my Bengals fans, thank you for this season. Thank you. We're going to ride out. This will probably be the end of me rocking until maybe Super Bowl, rocking my NFL jerseys, my Bengals jersey. Our season has ended, but I won't be rocking nobody else's NFL teams, but I might be moving on to my Knicks and the NBA teams. And so, yeah, we had a good season, y'all. For the road, let's give out our last chant of the season. Hoo-day. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody. At least nobody in the last 3 games. And I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, y'all. Listen, subscribe, like, love ya. We'll see you in the playoffs. I'll be dropping another episode next week after the playoffs. We'll talk, we'll chat. It's exciting. Let's go. Let's go get them. Let's see who's gonna win this chip. Yeah. Whoop.